Welcome to Mint, the right guidance. Today we're going to look at the syllabus and a simple study plan for both SSC CGL and SSC CHSL. So we're going to discuss the different components of the syllabus, and then we're going to see how we're going to approach the syllabus and how we're going to study for it. So before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe and definitely like this video. So let's get into this video. First, let's look at an exam overview. When we look at SSC CGL, we know that there are two tiers, right? So tier 1, which is qualifying, you're going to have 100 questions of total 200 marks and you're going to be given 60 minutes to write this exam. And then tier 2, which is going to be your merit, where they're going to take the marks to your final list. That is going to have a total of 3 sections, right? So the first section is going to be math and reasoning, which is going to be about 180 marks, with math and reasoning having equal distribution of marks. Section 2 is going to be English with a higher weightage of 45 marks and general awareness about 25 marks. So total will be about 210 marks. Computer, the section 3 will be computer, which is a qualifying part. So qualifying, you have to qualify the section 3. So section 3, if you qualify only, then section 1 and 2 will be awarded, because if you don't qualify it, then there's no point in scoring high marks in the first 2 sections anyway. So the total merit will be about 390 marks. That's going to be the one that is calculated to be in the final list. When we look at SSC CHSL, again, tier 1 is qualifying. About 100 questions are going to be there, 200 marks, again 60 minutes, and we're going to have the same subjects as CGL. Tier 2, which is going to be merit based, here you will have math for 30 marks, reasoning for 30 marks, English for about 40 marks, and general awareness for about 20 marks. Computer knowledge and typing skill set will also be added, which is qualifying though. The level of difficulty is generally 10th, 12th standard, whereas CGL, since it is combined graduate level exam, the difficulty is going to be a bit higher in the CGL part of the exam. Here now we're going to look at the syllabus, right? How it's going to be divided and what are the components of the syllabus. First, we're going to look at the most important, which is quantitative aptitude, what we call the decider subject. So it's very, very important. Section tests numerical ability and problem solving speed. So it's not just about your ability, it's also about your speed. So you have to be very fast when you're approaching a question. What we generally divide quantitative aptitude is into arithmetic and advanced math. So there are 2 portions to quantitative aptitude, arithmetic and also advanced math. When we look at arithmetic, which is the commercial math part, where we're focusing on the core topics are percentages, ratio and proportion, profit and loss, discount, simple and compound interest, time and speed, where you will have things like time and work, pipe and cisterns, time, speed, distance, boats and streams, all of that. And there's also number logic, things like number system, LCM, HCF, decimals and fractions, surds and indices, all that will be covered in the core topics of arithmetic. And then we have advanced mathematics. Here you will have things like algebra, which will cover things like basic algebraic identities, graphs of linear equations, and polynomials. In geometry, you will have things like circles, which are chords and tangents, triangles, congruent centers, quadrilaterals, and polygons. Then you'll have things like trigonometry, where you'll have things like ratio, standard identities, heights and distances, where they will ask things about simple applications. Then you have mensuration, area or perimeter, 2D, and volume or surface area, and 3D figures are also going to be included. Things like cylinders, cones, spheres, pyramids, all of that will also be included in the mensuration part. Then we have data and probability, which is important for tier 2. Statistics, mean, median, mode, all of that, which are very important when we consider statistics, that is also going to be there. Standard deviation, all of that is important. Data interpretation, histogram, frequency polygon, bar diagram, pie chart, all of that is also important. Probability, calculation of simple events, that is also a new addition that has been made, so that will also be asked, very probably be asked. So these are the things that you will have to look at in quantitative aptitude. So that is a very important part. We are generally dividing it into arithmetic and advanced mathematics, and you'll also have probability questions as well. And then we look at the general intelligence and reasoning, which is a very scoring section because it's not as difficult as math. Still, you can use your logic to solve this part. Logic, analytics, and visual reasoning is what is going to be judged here, and it's very scoring area as well. So verbal reasoning is going to be there. For example, logic based reasoning like syllogism, Venn diagrams, statement conclusion, input output, all of that is also going to be asked. Analytical is also going to be there. For example, blood relation, like they were, how is this person related to this person, a photograph will be given, this person is related to my grandmother or something like that. Things like that will also be asked. Direction sense, they walked north and then west, east, all of that is going to be asked. Seating arrangement, ranking and order is also likely to be asked. Alphabet or number, coding, decoding, analogy, classification, series completion, etc. will also be asked. Non-verbal reasoning, visual reasoning is also often asked, where you'll be given images and you have to reason then find the answer. Images like mirror and water images, mirror image, what is the mirror image of a certain image given. Then there is paper folding and cutting, embedded figures can be asked. Geometry, cubes and dice, counting figures, triangles or rectangles, pattern completion, etc. Then critical reasoning, which is very important for tier 2. Assumptions, course of action, cause and effect, strengthening and weakening arguments, all of that will also be asked. And then you're going to an important part, which is a very easy but scoring area, is English language and comprehension. We generally divide it into grammar, vocabulary and reading ability. Grammar and sentence structure, we have things like parts of speech, subject-verb agreement, tenses, articles, which are the core subjects. And then we have sentence formation, active, passive voice, direct, indirect speech. Things like error correction is going to be there, like spotting the error, or if there's any sentence improvement, fill in the blanks, all of those can be also be asked. Vocabulary is again another thing that is important, which is basically a mastery over words. You need to know about synonyms and antonyms, homonyms, one word substitution. A word will be given and a sentence will be given, and then you have to find one word that basically summarizes the entire thing. Then there is phrases, idioms and phrases, spelling detection, all of that. Then there is reading comprehension, which basically is text analysis like closed test, para jumbles, reading passages, all of that will also be very likely asked. So there is going to be reading comprehension as well. So again, you have to also focus on reading speed as well. And then we're going to look at general awareness. It is very wide, but if you're very priority based and understand what exactly is being asked in the previous year questions, it's very easy to get good marks in this area. So it's going to cover static GK and current affairs, requires broad reading. You need broad reading. You don't need to go deep dive into one topic. You need a broader perspective. Static GK. For history, you'll have ancient, medieval and modern. Geography, you'll have physical geography, Indian geography and world geography. Polity, you'll have Indian constitution, articles, amendments, parliament, judiciary, all of that stuff. Economy, you'll have micro, macro basics, budget, 5-year plans, banking terms, all of that will be asked. For general science, about 10-12 class, still about 10-12 will be asked. Biology, you'll have things like human body, vitamins, diseases, plant kingdom, etc. For physics and chemistry, you'll have things like SI units, motion, acids or bases, periodic table, all of that will be asked. Current affairs and culture, when we look at it, events of the last 8 to 10 months, about 1 year can be asked. Summits, awards, sports, government schemes, all of that can be asked. For culture, we have to focus on things like classical dances, festivals, art forms, Indian heritage sites, all of that has to be focused on. So we need a wider perspective rather than a very deep focus on a very minute detail or anything. Rather than focusing on minute details, you should focus on the broader picture when it comes to current affairs. Next, how do you phase this? So now we've looked at the syllabus, right? Now we've looked at the 4 major components and what all are the important topics and what all are the topics that are going to be divided and how it's going to be divided, what is the approach to take. Now, how to study for this? Phase 1 study plan would be about 1 to 45 days, first day to 45th day. You have to finish the basics of all the 4 subjects. Like for example, if we're looking at a daily schedule, about 2 hours of math, 1.5 hours of English, basic grammar, 1 hour of reasoning and 1.5 hours of general awareness. The reason we're giving extra to this is because English has more weightage. More marks is going to be given for English, but it's easier to study. And general awareness, because it's a very wide topic, so we need to spend more time on it. Then for 46th to 75th day, phase 2 of the study plan, how do we approach that? So now that we've covered our basics, we need to go into practice and previous year questions. We need to solve chapter-wise previous year questions. You'll find available resources, use that and find out and try to solve these questions. The resources will have many things like Pinnacle, Kiran or Rakesh Yadav publications. You can use those resources. Daily goal is to attempt at least 100 math questions, again 100 English questions, about 50 reasoning questions, about 250 questions, easy, very easy, fast. You need to create speed, so you need to approach the exam as in a very structured way as much as possible. So you need to practice as many questions as possible. So first we focus on the basics till 45 days, then 46 to 75 we focus on practice and previous year questions. Then we have phase 3, which is mocks and analysis. Day 76 to 90 is going to be our final phase, which is going to focus on speed and accuracy. So we need to keep repeating mocks and create that speed. And also, not just that, we also need deep analysis, so that we are not just focusing on the mocks, we are also building our own understanding by it. And then we have to identify our weak topics and just re-revise our notes. So first we create the basics, then we practice, look at previous year questions, and then finally we attempt the mocks, and then we go and re-revise our notes that we created during the basics and previous year questions. So this is going to be our approach for about 90 days. That is how we're going to look at the exam. And then how to increase your speed and accuracy. Try to learn tables up to 30, squares up to 50, cubes up to 25. So this is going to maximize your speed. So you're going to be very fast, especially when approaching difficult math questions. So tables up to 30, squares up to 50, cubes up to 25. Use option elimination, reasoning and general awareness. So practice at that method, so that even if you're not completely sure about the question, you will be able to approach it in a logical manner. English, maintain an error notebook, so that if there is any mistake that you're repeating, you'll be able to note it down and catch that mistake when you're about to make it. Common mistake is to ignore general awareness because you think it's not that much of a scoring subject, so you ignore it. That's not going to do you good, because it also has, it is a very game changer, because people will study the other things, but general awareness is often an ignored subject. So if you're able to score marks in that, you will be able to increase your, increase the rank list, increase the part where you come higher in the rank list. Not practicing the computer section, even though it's qualifying, you have to practice it, because if you don't qualify it, then there is no point in scoring in the other parts. Then you need to solve. Then if you keep solving new books every day, if you keep going to new books, revising new things, what will happen? You'll forget the basics. Neglecting typing or skill, that is also not something you have to do, because again it's a very crucial part of the exam. So you should not ignore things like computer typing skill. You should not go and chase new books all the time, and you should not ignore general awareness as well. And when we look at the resources that we need to look at, mathematics, we have things like SSC Mathematics by Rakesh Yadav. Many questions are going to be covered, and you also have QR codes for video solutions as well. For English, you can go for English for General Competitions by Neetu Singh. The Bible for SSC, that's what it's called, because it has grammar rules, common errors, all of that is listed. Then for reasoning, we have A Modern Approach to Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal. It covers all the logical patterns that are going to be there. Comprehensive coverage is given. For general awareness, we have General Knowledge by Lucent Publications. It's the best for static GK. It covers things like history, science, polity very concisely. Then we have Computer Awareness by Radhika Ma'am, RBE, specifically tailored for qualifying section in Tier 2. So it's very specific, so you can approach it very easily and study it and directly be able to pass the Tier 2 qualifying part. So that's it for today's video. So we've comprehensively looked at the syllabus, and we've also looked at how to approach it with a very comprehensive 90-day study plan. So if you're able to keep up with this 90-day study plan, if you're able to follow it through, then your chances of passing the exam will increase manifold. So hopefully this video was helpful to everyone. Thank you so much.